Welcome to Tuesday Truths, where we pull all the gold from our conversations and give you the insights you can actually use. Today we're revisiting some of the most powerful moments from the conversation with Vanessa Tavares, from understanding how your brain works to creating environments where everyone can thrive, to the daily practices that support real, lasting well-being. These are the truths that matter. Let's dive right in.
Some people have depression, but they also have periods of anxiety. Sometimes they have anxiety, then they build to depression, and then now they've got PTSD, because it's always like that. I think the main thing that I think of, it's like getting into the surfing waves and trying to surf and do the best you can with the waves going up and down, up and down. And I believe that if you find the right person to help you navigate, and for children as well, and I think you probably would agree with that, if you got a good coach, like a life coach and a counselor, you can see like the youth will absolutely thrive. They have someone they can talk to, they can vent out things that they can't vent out to their parents. And I think all these creations of resources, again, not always, but it is possible. Yeah.
I mean, given our... Absolutely. Giving our children those basic, what we said before at the beginning, giving everything, ourselves as well. We can't look after our children if we're not looking after ourselves, that whole oxygen mask on the plane scenario. Yes. But, we've got to be giving ourselves the basics that human needs in order then we can, because things will go up and down in our lives. We will come across a bigger mountain that we have to cross. And if we can't cross it, we might go into that anxiety state or that depression state, that sad, that constant, sadness is a survival emotion that's got us through millions of years of evolution. However, if we can't navigate ourselves through that, that's when we do fall into the long-term state of depression or the byproduct of fear, which is anxiety. I think we do have to be prepared for when something goes wrong, because things will go wrong. And I want to give myself the tools, what we said before about the cold plunges, and I was navigating, rolling through things they're not going to kill me, but yet I was feeling like they were killing me. Yes. You know what I mean? So we want to get through all of those in a really healthy way, sit in it for a moment, navigate ourselves through it, and then climb over that mountain. And we might see a much bigger mountain in the distance, but we've got the tool set to get there and get through it. And I think I just see so many people running through so much sadness and fear at the moment. I think, darkness. And I feel
also like the community has a lot to actually help with this. If you find a good community, I think as a mom is one of the things that I'm actually on it. I think that in Australia we're more individualistic culture, but in Brazil we are really collectivistic people, where we help each other. We are there. If a parent wants you, I'll cancel plans, and I do that believe me or not, I'm very busy, but I make time for those children. If I'm connecting with a parent outside of my professional world, and we can help each other, I am gonna 100% help them. Like I can schedule it, I can reschedule it. Like I'm full on community. So I think it's one of the things that is actually missing as well. Having that community where you can, okay, my child's fine if I am here working and someone picked them up after school. Like it's not really common. A lot of people are very individuals about that and have their own schedules. But yeah, culturally, it's a little bit of a difference as well for me. But luckily, I have been able to slowly progress to this more collectivistic culture. Most of my friends are European background as well. But yeah, I've got Aussies and Europeans and all the mixture. But yeah, I can see there is a lot of that could contribute as a child centered sort of and parents as well. Communities would definitely make such a difference to adapting into these changes, that we haven't been able to in the long term.
But cold plunges really are amazing.
It helps regulate your sympathetic nervous system. If you really think about it, we constantly fight or flight. Like we constantly on the go. You've got a calendar, you've got to reach to this, and you've got kids, and you've got school, and then suddenly, you don't realize, but you reach to a point that you're going, okay, that's a lot to me. And I think if you can mix that a little bit, having a little bit of time to yourself with the cold plunge and the sauna helps to regulate your sympathetic nervous system as well. Where
And
it's,
your thermogenesis as well. Yeah. And then I think after something like 2.5 to 3 minutes, there's no science to suggest anything above 3.5 minutes is more beneficial than, you know, doing the 3 minutes. But there's something about 2.5 minutes or something. I can't remember the stages. I've got it written down somewhere. But your body goes through that thermogenesis as well, where you start to, your body heat starts to regulate. And that's fascinating that you can get through that and control your whole system and take control of it in a really positive way. I used to struggle. I mean, some of my friends who, if they listen to this, they will know I used to, you know, stress if I'd upset somebody, if I'd said the wrong thing, I'd lose sleep, I'd have to phone back and, you know, over apologize and, oh my God, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. But I've really come to, I suppose I've become far more secure with myself and confident, but at the same time understanding myself as a flawed person where needed. But I noticed through doing cold plunges, I would be, you know, reflecting at night, or could be in the shower, and I'd be thinking about the day, and I'd go, the old Andy would have stressed about that moment. I didn't stress in the moment, it's through my self-reflection later on at the night, and I go, oh my God, the old Andy would have freaked out. Why didn't he freak out? And I do believe, obviously, changing the food, getting rid of sugar, cold plunges took. And I do believe the majority of it was the cold plunges, but that mental strength, I just noticed things rolling off my back.
Yeah, it also helps you to kind of question your reality, because everything is adjustable. Like, you in the water and you get it really cold, and suddenly it's not that cold anymore, which means your body, your mind can reach to a threshold of going, hang on a minute, it's not that cold. What I was thinking about that, you know, and then you start to really reflect on that as well. Sometimes
that's when I splash.
Yeah.
Get it cold.
But yeah, it's a great habit.
I think so. And going back to what you said before about being in Perth, in Melbourne, it does get pretty cold in the winter, so I don't need to cool my spa down. I mean, I don't heat it anyway, but it's around 5-6 degrees, and in the summer the earth is a lot hotter here, so it sits at around 18-20, which doesn't benefit me at all. But in the winter, in the next month or so, that water won't benefit me anymore, and I'll probably just have to deal with the cold water I can get from the cold shower, or go to the cold plunge centre, which is 5 minutes down the road. But you know, if you keep spending money on it, it just adds up. And I can't really afford $4,000 to go and buy a cold plunge either.
No, unless you get a fridge, get an old fridge.
I was thinking that, the old
your
freezers
mates
actually.
Come around.
Yeah, I know, right?
You have a line in the backyard.
Well, I could earn a fortune.
And suddenly you've got a brand new sauna. Go, where did you get that money from?
Yeah, you guys.
Making business.
Yeah, that's it. Love it. Absolutely love it.
And what I find it happens is, in the school environment, they learn, they thrive. There's so many people who can actually contribute. And actually, the majority of our children will learn more from the school setting than from home. And I find that a lot of parents kind of lack resources to navigate the children, and when they rather than going and, hey, what are you doing here and how I can implement that at home. So in the behavior support field, I also implement that, where I'm actually having this assessment directly with the teacher and implementing that with mom directly at home, because then all of that learning can actually be implemented in a one-on-one session at home, in the child home environment. And I think it's so much to learn from teachers. Like, they're with your child all day. They learning things in a way that you probably haven't thought, how you could implement this at home. And I think one of the questions I had before my children went to school was like, what is the best thing I can do as a mother to make sure my kids thrive in the school setting? And a teacher came to me and he said, never argue with the teacher, never question the teacher anything in front of the children, because that actually stops their respect towards the teaching environment. And I've taken this lesson forever now. Like, when I have something I want to discuss with the teacher, I go, hi, can we just have a little, conversation? Because a lot of parents as well, they come, why are you doing this to my children? Like, why? I've had angry parents there, and I'm like, why are you so upset? Like, so can we move that environment to maybe something that could be more proactive? And I think, as I said, teachers have such a powerful tool right there. and there is a lot that I learned from them. And also bring that to the parent in a different concept as well, because we can, as you know, we find a lot of parents who are very not strict, but they don't really want to replicate anything, and don't really believe on the system as well. And so it's kind of my job as well to do that a little bit in the backside.
Well, it's funny you bring that up, because there was a meme many years ago that I noticed, was because back in the 80s, 90s, it was always, not that we should look down at children, I don't mean like this, but there was a meme going around where the parent was stood next to the teacher looking down at the child, but it was implying they're on the same team for the child. But now it's the parent and the child looking down at the teacher. Sorry, covering up the mic, looking down at the teacher. It was a terrible meme at the same time as looking down, but the idea for what I took from it was more about how the teams aligned, and it's like the families are now against the teacher, and they have the power and the control, whereas really it should be a 3-team effort. You know, the child still has to be accountable, but we've got to teach the child to go to school and be kind, be respectful, listen, but we've got to do our job at home by supplying these children with connection, love, get out, let's play, go and get dirty, give them some good food, but make them go to bed at a good time that we know is suitable for them. If we do our job, they will get up in the morning, they will thrive. And I've definitely noticed in the last 8 years, I know we blame it on COVID, but I do think it's really more aligned with maybe the development of, devices that we use, lack of movement, the way we sleep now. Kids don't really sleep anymore. They might fall asleep, but whether they're going through all the sleep cycles not in a healthy way based on the rubbish that they're eating that day, the lack of exercise, etc. But at schools now, when I go into schools, I actually teach them a bit of a code, a pointless code, a meaningless code. And I'll say it out here so people do. I actually did a reel on it about 3 months ago. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I've been teaching them about neurogenesis, the synapses connections, the firing and wiring of when they're learning something new, and then the myelination stage. So when they're through repetition, effort, focus, attention, it's beginning to myelinate. I give examples through, there was a point that we wasn't able to walk at one point, and through our developmental stages, crawling, seeing something we want, finding and figuring a way out to get to it. I think you know what I mean, going from a baby to a toddler and so on. But there was a point that we couldn't walk, we had to learn it, and then we began to do all of those stages and then myelinate it. So myelination is obviously the myelin going over the neural pathway, kind of making it not concrete, but segmenting that skill. So walking, you and I don't think about it, it's myelinated. And I explain that in a very simple term for the kids to understand in a nice fun way. And all the kids focus on me. When I'm going through these discussions, they're all focusing on me. I'm not saying I'm the best teacher or anything, but they're focused and they're listening because 1, it's different. 2, they like the challenge. But I explain to them, this is pointless. No teacher should teach you anything pointless, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to break the rules. And I give them a code. And I say it 3 times. And I say to them, I'm going to mess up your head all day. And I'm going to interrupt the learning. I'm going to ask you to repeat the code. And I'm going to prove to you, you can do anything you want if in this world, when you're older, now, whenever, even when it's boring. You can put your mind to it if you choose to. And I give them the code and I say it 3 times. I'll do it now. Lara 5610 #? Full stop. Number 2, second time. Lara 5610 #? Full stop. Third and final time. Lara 5610 #? Full stop. I don't know, people who are listening, can they say that again? Vanessa, I'm messing up your head on purpose now. Can you remember that?
You changed the purpose of your podcast now.
No, we talk about it. I talk about this a lot. I've discussed this many months ago. But, I mean, can you remember that code?
Lara, gosh, I probably needed to write it down. Hang on, I wasn't writing it down. I wasn't a good student.
No, that's cheating.
Lara 5610 #?
One more thing.
What is it?
Full stop.
Full stop. Oh no.
I'll ask you at the end of the episode.
Oh no, I've got to remember the full stop.
Hey, if the preps can remember it, you can remember it,
I'm
Vanessa.
sure. You're making me sweat now. Like, oh, my brain, my neurons are creating new pathways.
Yep, they're firing and wiring together, baby.
They're firing. creating a phonological loop of memories.
Love it. Absolutely.
Apparently we cannot remember 7 numbers as well. There is this thing that people do study to do assessments as well. Just testing how people, what is their memory and retention of memory. And it's really important as well when you're learning and you're adapting your learning. Like, you don't want to be a student who's going to have to remember 20,000 words, but you can only remember 2 or 3, right? But you, as you said, you can learn. You can learn if you put a mind on it. And I actually love that you mentioned that, because you can. Yeah.
Thank you. I feel like I'm on the right path to it.
Yeah.
But obviously there's many other variables we could bring into that, and I do discuss sleep with them when I teach them about the brain and the cycles through the night, and how to set themselves up in a healthy way for sleep, how to come out of sleep in a healthy way, and they find it fascinating. You know, I sometimes, depending on the age, I might go into the mitochondria and, you know, talking about ATP and all the different stages of which we turn into, you know, diphosphate and then monophosphate into adenosine, which knocks us off at sleep at night. And when I bring that up, they're all fascinated by it. Yeah. Absolutely fascinated. And that tells me we should be teaching kids about sleep. We should be teaching them about mitochondria and cells and nutrition and exercise. Yes. Because then we're giving them the baseline to not be optimal, but a chance to be optimal. What you just witnessed is only a snippet of our amazing conversation this week. This is what Leading Our Own Way is all about. Real stories, real transformation. If you're watching this before Wednesday, part 1 dropped yesterday and part 2 releases tomorrow. But if you're already here after Wednesday, all parts are available now. Head to YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts and every other major platform and look for the numbers on the bottom left-hand corner of the episode's covers to start with part 1. Trust me, you don't want to miss this incredible journey.